Hello everyone, welcome to the Ozark Outpost. This is Global War 1914, Operation Hamel, the British Empire in the spring of 1916. Okay, before I do the British turn, there are a couple of things I want to clear up. General Hand Grenade has told us we screwed it up after he told us the first time, but we've got it clear now. Hanan does not exist for any purpose in this game other than just to appear on the map. It doesn't matter that the territory has a name. It doesn't matter that it has a warlord roundel on it. And it does not matter that it's connected to the mainland by a narrow crossing. Hanan does not exist for any game purpose. So we have been told to ignore it. It's not to be used, period. So there's that. Even though it has a Yunnan roundel on it, any random event card that says Yunnan is strictly for the Yunnan land zone. So that's that. The other thing is the random event we had here in eastern Mexico. Now, the way this is to be played, we'll come over here to the actual random event text. General Hand Grenade and Bob Hatcher have both agreed. Just X the two things there with the asterisks out. What you did or did not do in the prequel is not going to have anything to do with this. These two sentences up here at the top are the only thing that we need to know if this random event comes up. What is going on here, as far as mechanics go, is that Germany is influencing Mexico. They've got Herr von Zimmermann sitting in Mexico City playing both ends against the middle. The Germans don't care who sits in the presidential palace. They're going to buy him off and have their way. So, said X those things out. General Hand Grenade said he is adding a note about this to the errata on the HBG website. Okay, we got that done. Now, the British did not make a mandatory offensive in 1915 because they couldn't. Before the end of the year, they did not have enough infantry in position to be able to make a mandatory offensive. As a result, this turn, spring 1916, we do not get to do diplomacy. So we do get to do research technology, but we don't get to roll for any diplomacy. If we did not do a mandatory offensive this turn, we also would not get our wartime economy roll. But we are going to do one, so that's not going to be an issue. So, the first thing we need to do here is tech. The Brits, once again, are going to try poison gas, and they're going to try to move improved factories along again. Okay, they got poison gas, missed on improved factories. So the British are now at stage 2 of gas. They can deploy chlorine gas if they wish. And that's that. Now we go to the buy. The British had, after the German convoy raiding, the British had 42 pounds left in the bank. So, they are required by the rules to spend 4 to complete the research of tank technology. I will state publicly for the record, I am not a fan of this rule. I don't think the rules should dictate what technologies a player pursues. I realize 1916 was when tanks entered the war, and that's a big historical milestone, but I don't like this. It's a case of scripting the game via the rule book. And I do not like scripting. I'm writing my version of history. So, sorry guys. Like I said, I don't agree with this. I don't like it. So, spending 4 for tank technology. Spring 1916 is a fighter upgrade. Again, I'm required to choose. I either upgrade the fighters or I get rid of them. Honestly, I think it should be up to the player whether or not they want to upgrade their fighters. If they want to keep old planes in the air, I think that should be the player's choice. Again, I'm not a fan of scripting. So, we have 2 fighters on the map in Picardy, so we're spending 2 to upgrade those to the 1916 level. Crooked Leg has also stated, because these decisions are supposed to be made at the beginning of the turn, he has stated that he is upgrading the French fighters as well. And nobody else has any on the map. Okay, so there's 4 for mandatory tank research completion. There's 2 to upgrade the 2 fighters. Then we're spending 10. No, wait a minute, that might be a mistake. Let me check real quick. I might be restricted to just buying 1 of those per turn. Yeah, 1 per turn. So, take 1 of those off there. Sorry about that. Lost my head for a minute. So, let me think real quick about what I want to do in place of that with the 5 IPP that I have. What we will do instead is there is 2 more colonial infantry. Okay, now we're cooking. Okay, so we're buying 1 Gurkha for 5. Here we're buying colonial infantry for 2. Over here we're buying 2 railways for 8. This stack we've got 2 colonial infantry and 1 colonial upgrade for a total of 6. We got 2 artilleries for 10. Here I've added, to replace what I took off for the Gurkha, 2 more colonial infantries for 4 and save 1. Okay, so combat. We're going to have an attrition attack from southern Iraq shooting into northern Iraq. I forgot, I've been forgetting about that on the other turns, that artillery is sitting there. Okay, over here, we're going to attack German South Africa. From South African Union, we're going in with an artillery, 3 infantry, and a cavalry. The colonial will stay behind in garrison. From Rhodesia, there is, you can see here, there is a corridor of land that connects German South Africa to Rhodesia. And yes, this did and still today does exist. You can also see there's river here on the border. However, come around here, there is a corridor of border right there that is not does not have river on the border. You can everybody see that? Let me zoom in some more. See, there's no river right there on that segment of the border. I don't know if that's a printing error or if that's the way it's supposed to be, but that's what I see, so I'm not going to assign a river penalty here. So from Rhodesia, we're going to have 3 colonials and an artillery joining the attack. The other colonial is going to stay behind in garrison. Then up here, the Imperial German Navy has 2 pesky little U-boats out there doing their U-boat stuff. So we got a seaplane from the British Midlands that is going to come out here and attack the U-boats. We also have one in Normandy that's going to come out here and attack the U-boats. And I believe that's it for combat. Yeah. So let's do the attrition attack first. Southern Iraq to northern Iraq. Missed with a 9. Okay, next we're going to do South Africa. So we've got 2 artillery first strikes. There's no terrain involved here. Both missed. Okay, now we're going to have cavalry boosted by artillery, so it will roll to 4, and we're going to have 1 infantry boosted to a 3. So let's get our proper colors here again. Blue's infantry, yellow's cavalry. Both hit. Can you see that? There's 2 1s there. So there's, get our little thing up there. There's 2 hits. Okay, so now we're going to have 2 more infantry at 2s. They both missed. And we're going to have 3 colonials at 1. And they missed. So that was 2 hits scored on the Germans. So now the Germans have 2 infantry, a cavalry, 2 infantry, a cavalry, and a colonial defending. Okay, those are all misses. It's a 12 back under there, and those miss. So, let me go double check the casualty order for that. Don't want to make a grievous error. Okay, so the cavalry order for that, or the casualty order, is cavalry, colonial, infantry. So the German colonial and cavalry come off, leaving 2 infantry in defense. And we're going to go again. So we've got 2 artillery at 4. No hits. We have a boosted infantry and cavalry. Okay, there's 1 hit. 1 hit by the infantry. So there's 1 casualty. Now we got 2 more infantry. Both missed. And 3 colonials. And everybody missed there. The German defenders, okay, they got 2 hits that time. So 1 German comes off, and they got 2 hits that we will take on 2 of our colonials. All right, we're gonna go round 3 and try and wrap this up. So 2 artillery. Okay, there's a hit at a 3 right there. That's the one we needed. Okay, the German defends, and he hits with a 1. So we will kill the remaining colonial. And the British, the British capture German South Africa. Get guys moved in here. He goes in there. 2 artilleries. Take that one off. 3 infantry. All right, so the British Empire has now captured 2 German African colonies. So the British get Africa victory objective. Possession of at least 2 German colonies. So there's that. All right, now we do the mandatory offensive in Europe. Let's see, I've got 2. No, my artillery are not attacking, just my infantry. 6 infantry are attacking. And the Germans have quite the stack of artillery here. And of course gets first strike. 3, 6, 8, 9. 9 regulars and 2 heavies. Yeah. Well, all I have to do is make the attack. Nothing says that I actually have to roll any dice in the attack. I just have to make the attack. I've already made the combat move, so I think that satisfies the requirement. Okay, so we got 2, 4, 6, 8. There's 9 regular artillery first strike. And I see, let me back this out a little bit. There we go. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. 2 4s, 2 3s, and a 2. That was the regular artillery. Now there are 2 heavy artillery. And then one of them got a 3, which is what it defends at. So that is the 6th hit. So I didn't get to shoot anybody, but the guys went over the top and made the attack. So that's my mandatory offensive for 1916. So we get over here and take 6 infantry away, leaving 2. And I'll do a disposition at the end here when I'm done. Okay, that's the end of combat. Now we're going to do a little bit of non-combat. Okay. This infantry in British East Africa is going to move up here and hang out with the Italians in Somaliland. This colonial infantry is going to move from occupied German East Africa to British East Africa. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing as I did last turn. The colonial from Western Egypt is moving into Eastern Egypt. The colonial from Nubia is also moving into Eastern Egypt. So, and like I said, I'm just going to leave them there to make it easier to place stuff. So those 2 chips are the 2 extra colonials. Over here, this Gurkha is going to move up to South Persia. Put him on there like that. And that's it over here. Here in the mid, there we go. These ships are coming off escort duty and they are moving over here to M2. So the 2 destroyers just moved 1 space over to M2. The pre-dreadnought has the major port or either one, so it can go 2 spaces over to M2. This cruiser is also going over to M2. And the submarine this destroyer is going to come off escort duty and stay behind. The seaplane is going to go two spaces over there to land at Malta again. The coastal sub is going from M4 to M8. And that's it there. Up there, the 2 seaplanes in a non-combat move back to where they started from, Normandy and the Midlands. And that's it for non-combat. No, one more. This Camel's gonna move from southern Iraq. No, He'll stay there. Never mind. That's it for non-combat. Okay, so now we're going to place units. So, first one here, I paid the proper amount this time. So rail is built from Eastern Belgian Congo to Anglo-Egyptian Sudan. We now have a railway from Cape Town to Cairo, or Alexandria if you want to go all the way out to the coast. Also building a rail, which I paid the proper amount for, from southern Iraq to Najd, because I have to have a supply path to Najd to be able to use that manpower. Okay, then we will shift over here to India. Let me make sure I do this right. Okay, these two I know for sure. We're building another Gurkha in Punjab. We're building an artillery here at the minor factory in Bombay. And then let me come back to that. I'm going to do my others just to make sure I don't screw up before I do the extra add-ons. Okay, so we're going to build an artillery at the minor factory here in South Africa. We're putting a colonial here in German East Africa. Then up here, you will recall we non-combat moved 2 colonials into there. Now we replace those 2 colonials in Western Egypt and Nubia. And again, like we did before, we're upgrading one of the colonials that had already been there to an infantry. So, make that a green. So that gives us 4 infantry, and we'll have a green here now as well, so that'll give us 4 colonials. Okay, there's that. And then I've got 2 colonials left to place. So for those, we're going to come over here to India. We're going to put a colonial here in Bombay. And we're going to put the other one in South Persia. Get out there. There we go. Okay, that's everything placed. So, the things we changed. In Bombay, we've got 3 colonials and an artillery. In Punjab, we have Gurkha. In southern Persia, we have 2 Gurkhas, a cavalry, and 3 colonials. We now have a railway extending into Najd. In Nubia, we have one colonial. Western Egypt, we have one colonial. Eastern Egypt, we have 3 colonials and, well, excuse me, 4 colonials and 4 infantry. We moved an infantry into Italian Somaliland. We have a colonial in British East Africa, one in German East Africa. In South Africa, we have a colonial and an artillery, one colonial in Rhodesia. We built the railway from East Congo to Sudan. We captured German South Africa with 3 infantry, 2 artillery, and a cavalry. Actually, I forgot one non-combat move. This transport goes 1 space over to A54. And actually, I forgot another non-combat. I forgot this cruiser sitting here. He's going 1 space up to A44. Okay. I've got 1 destroyer and 1 coastal sub in M8. Seaplane landed at Malta. There in M2, I've got a submarine, a cruiser, a pre-dreadnought, and 2 destroyers. And nothing changed up north. Okay, so now it's time to collect money. And since I did the mandatory offensive, I do get to roll for wartime economy. And then Great Britain now is good on mandatory offensives until fall-winter 1917. Because, as General Hand Grenade pointed out to us, your mandatory offensive makes you good for the following year. Since I didn't do the mandatory offensive in 1915, I did this one this turn, which covers 1916, and it also covers 1917. So I'm good on mandatory offensives for the next, 5 turns. So that's pretty good. Okay, the British are still at 39. And do our roll. That's 8. So 39 and 8 is going to be 47. Okay. I think that's it. Yes. Ozark Outpost. Over and out.